Fehu. It literally means cattle, representing wealth. It's strongly associated with the gods Freya or Freya. Looking at this room, I see a figure reaching out in exultation. Fehu. Urus means aurochs, which is an extinct oxen. It represents brute strength or force. Looking at this rune, I see it has a very stable base with 2 feet on the ground. Or it is one line leaning on the other for strength and support. Thorisas. It means giant or thorn. It's strongly associated with the god Thor. I can see this rune like a branch with a thorn on it. Thorisas. Ansus. It means the gods of the Aesir, chiefly associated with the god Odin. Sometimes it's associated with ancestral gods, and it has an association with the ash tree. Looking at this rune, I see a spear, the spear of Odin. Ansus. Rytho literally means ride. So it's associated with a journey or a vehicle, transportation, or wandering. The shape evokes forward movement, like stepping forward. Rytho. Kenes. The meaning of this rune is unclear, but perhaps it means ulcer. Other interpretations of the translation say it means torch or light. This rune also has a strong association with Loki, but much of the associations with Loki and fire comes from a misinterpretation that has since been clarified. As a symbol of a torch, it can definitely look like that forward beacon. Kenes. Gebu. It literally means a gift. It's associated with generosity and hospitality. If I look at this rune, I imagine an old-fashioned rapid gift with the ribbons going across it in 2 different directions, forming that X shape. Gebu. Wunyu. It means joy, pleasure, hope. Looking at this rune, I see a flag, like a pendant, something you would wave when you cheer. Wunyu. Hagalaz. It literally means hail, like the precipitation. Oftentimes it's referring to limitation, obstacles, challenge of some kind. When I look at this rune, I see a closed gate. Hagalas. Now these. It literally means need. It also refers to patience. So just like Gabo symbolizes a gift or caring, now these can symbolize receiving care. Looking at the next room, Isa, you can see a relation in the shape of the rune. Isa is just a vertical line. See, Isa meaning ice. So think of two sticks being rubbed together, addressing that need for heat or life. Now these. Isa literally means ice or freeze. Ice and cold were major aspects in regular life for the Norse. The cold was associated with hardship and a fight for survival. In meaning freeze, it may be referring to a ceasing, a stagnation, things staying the same, or a plateau. Isa. Yera. It means year, like a good year or a harvest cycle. It can also stand for plenty. This is the only rune that's not continuously connected. I can see the shape of two arms holding a bundle together like a bundle of grain. Yera. Iwas means yew tree. The yew tree is a highly toxic plant to humans and animals. Poisons made from the yew were used for both murder and suicide. The yew is also considered the tree of life. It is an evergreen that can live thousands of years. When a yew tree does die, it can be regenerated by its own daughter tree that grows out of the decaying trunk. So Iwas can also represent death and rebirth. Iwas. Perth. The meaning is unclear. Or perhaps pear tree. The meaning of this rune has not been agreed upon by scholars, but as a symbol, it is found as a receptacle used for casting lots, like a modern dice cup. It is associated with divination and discovering hidden knowledge. I also think of the phrase, the dice have been cast, or what will be, associated with this rune. Perth. Elhes. It means elk. It stands for protection, shielding, and facing difficulties head on. Remember, the meaning of a rune is the same in any orientation. So take Elhes, place it in a circle, and you have a peace sign. Elhes. So willow. It means sun. Sunlight has a cleansing effect. Associations with light, good health, success, truth, and clarity.
The shape of this rune for me is reminiscent of the radiant light from the sun. So willow. Tiwaz. It represents the god Tyr, meaning sacrifice, justice, courage, commitment. Tyr lost his sword hand, and this arrow shape can illustrate a sword. Tiwaz. Barkana. It means birch. Barkana speaks of the tree, but also a nature goddess, akin to Gaia. So its association is with a birch goddess, or sometimes just feminine power or divinity. Barkana. Awaz. It means horse, associated with faith, loyalty, trust, and also movement, travel, and change. Looking at this rune, I see a horse viewed in profile, with its legs reaching down and its center where a saddle would rest. Awaz. Manaz. It means man or mankind, representing community, support, assistance, the self, and the family. I see this room as a complement to Iwaz. This time, the horseback is occupied by man. Manaz. Laguz. It means water, lake, sea. It's associated with flow, psychic ability, the feminine, growth, intuition, and the unconscious. I find it appropriate that this rune is similar to Isa's ice. Laguz. Ingwaz. It's the god Ing, another name for the god Freya. It's associated with fertility, male virility, creative energy, channeling energy, completion, and safety. Note the two different shapes. Both have the center diamond, but one has the line extended. I can see the square, the diamond, representing masculinity, and the rune design reaching up and down, representing the divine form of the masculine. Iwas. Dagas. It means day, like daylight, morning. It represents success, hope, breakthroughs, transformation, and balance. You can see the rune Dagas inside the rune Manaz, as I can see this representing the fire of life within us, that inner light. Dagas. Othila. It means heritage or estate, like your inheritance. It can represent possession, tradition, family ties, ancestral lands, or your home. I imagine these crossing lines as cross supports in a home, holding up the roof. Othila.